Hey guys, so for this video I'll be doing a commentary, or I guess like a reaction to the winners for season 2. I did this last year with season 1 for Produce 101. I have these two albums for a reason, which I will later talk about, obviously because there's some new East members that were in the show, and Yeonjung was part of IOI and then was later added onto Cosmic Girls. But I will go individually one by the winners. From 11 to number 1, basically making some commentary regarding just them. And I also just stopped watching the show midway, but I kept up with the rankings because I just did not like how Mnet was giving certain members camera time. So those are the ones that actually like won, and it was just very biased from the beginning. So I kind of just gave up on the whole show, watching the show. But I do like how it gives exposure to certain trainees that may be from smaller companies, etc. And I actually really like the results this year, but I will talk about that with each trainee that won. And yeah, so let's get started. So the one who got 11th place was Ha Sung-woon, so he was actually part of Hot Shot. I do remember them debuting back in the day. I actually did not really know about them or listen to their music, but through their I guess audition or first examination, I was really impressed. You can tell that these guys were performing like for a while, or they were very good, because there were two trainees that auditioned that were part of Hot Shot, and he was one of them, and he actually won 11th place. So actually really glad that he won, because if I'm not mistaken, Hot Shot has this bandit, so this is basically another chance for this guy to, further his career. And yeah, I don't mind him being in the group. I think he totally deserved it, and he's extremely talented as well. Just seeing the first impression, I thought he was really good. And then 10th place was Bae Jin Young. I said previously that I didn't watch the whole show, but I did watch each fan cams for performances and things like that, so I can have a further evaluation for them. He's one of the ones that I would say I can switch out with basically anyone else in the top 20. Not that he doesn't deserve it. I think he's definitely a good addition to the group visually, but I don't think he really makes the group any greater or worse. He's one of those members that are kind of like fillers. I'm not saying that he sucks, but obviously in the beginning he had a really bad confidence, low confidence in himself, and it grew. So that's some improvement. So he's one of those members that, well, for me, like, doesn't do much, but I don't mind them having there. Like, but you can easily switch him out with anyone else in the top 20. But I think he definitely got a lot of support because of his looks, and he really lucked out on being just improving, and just I think mainly just the looks. But he definitely improved, so that's something. I don't mind him being in the group. And then 9th place was Hwan Min-hyun, who he's part of New East. Actually, I was thinking that he was not going to make it, because he's maintained that spot all the time, like the 9th or 8th place, like around those ranks. So I was actually worried, because Jonghyun was ranking first for a while, and he pulled through. Actually, if I had anyone to pick on the 4 members for New East to make it, I definitely think Min-hyun deserved it the most. Or like, not deserve it the most. He fits the group the most, because he's so versatile. He has the looks. He's really good at dancing. He's very good at singing. He can, I guess, rap, and he has a lot of charisma. I think he just fits in what's called 101, the name of the group. He fits in really well. Ren, actually, I thought Ren was ranking pretty high at the beginning, but he just faded off because he can't really keep up with everyone else. He really feeds off everyone from New East. But yeah, and then Jonghyun was an extremely good leader, and I will later talk about that after I talk about each person individually. And poor Baeko, he would be probably my second choice because he has an extremely good voice, which wasn't showcased at the show at all. Well, from the beginning, like they just put that image of him as a tough guy, which is kind of like his image in New East. He has that aura and everything, but I think that really overshadowed his talent, his vocal talent, because he is the best singer in New East, and a lot of people did not know this from the beginning. They just saw him as just having that masculine personality and, you know, that charisma, but he has an extremely good voice, so I think he would have been also a great addition to the group. And Aaron wasn't in participating in the show. So I do like that Minhyun was included, or like he won. And definitely if New East continues, that's is going to help them drastically regarding their popularity if they want to continue, because now they have a lot of fans. And then here next we have Yoon Ji-sung. This one is like a unique addition to the group, and I think he's a perfect member to be included in the final lineup. You know, he isn't the most talented, he isn't the best dancer, he isn't the best singer, but just something about him screams like star quality or like idol-like. He's the best out of all the ones in the show. He's the best one at variety, and obviously I think they're going to have variety shows. Like I think IOI had like 2 variety shows. So he really lifts up the mood. He is an entertainer. He was born to entertain. And he can definitely keep up with the dancing and the singing. So I don't mind him being in the group. And I think that it's just perfect having that member that's kind of quirky. And every group has them. Like, for example, like Infinite has Sungyeol. Like, he isn't the best singer, but he's just so funny and so entertaining. And just a lot of popular groups has that special member that is extremely good at variety shows, very entertaining, and I think he's just a perfect fit for the final lineup, and you know, add something new to the group. And then okay, so Ji-sung I like, and I'm really glad that he gained the spot, because you can tell that he was desperate for this opportunity. Okay, and then 7th place. So this one's a bit more controversial. I don't want to be mean because I actually like this person. So like Gwan Lin, out of everyone in this list, I think he's the one that I guess deserves it the least. He is just starting training, so you can't really criticize him. I think that's very admirable for him to just go on this show when he has like barely any training. And he speaks Korean so well, like. He's very, very impressive, but like everyone else, like a majority of the other people had trained for years, and you know, that was like a lot of people's last chance to, you know, pursue their dream. And Guanglin, like he just basically started in, it's definitely obvious that he got into his into the group because mostly because of his looks, because when it comes to skills, like he isn't a better rapper than anyone else in the show. He's not the most exceptional dancer, or you know, so he definitely got in because of his looks. But I do like that they have a foreign member, like IOI had Pinky, so I guess he's like the Pinky of the group, but Pinky is so talented. But so if anything, there's only improvement from here on. He's kind of like the Sohye of this group, because you know, Sohye, like she was just really bad and just improved throughout the show, and same thing for Guanlin, but he was ranking from the very beginning. So you know, I wish him the best. He is improving like drastically, so that's why I don't completely hate the fact that he's added to the group, and he can bring a lot of international fans. He speaks Chinese, he speaks English, so and his rapper, he's a decent rapper. He has a voice to rap. I really want to hear him sing though, but I don't know how that's going to work out because he's just starting out basically, and he really lucked out on this opportunity, and maybe that means that Cube might be planning to debut another boy group in the future, with Guanlin debuting with that group after 101 finishes promotions in 2018. So that's for Guanlin, and then here we have 6th place Park Ujin, and he is from Brand New Music. Out of the whole trainees, the one that were the most polished were the brand new kids. The Brand New Music kids were extremely polished. They were ready for debut. You can really see or sense teamwork within the trainees when they first auditioned. So I actually wanted at least one or two from them to debut, and he's actually a pretty good rapper. I like his personality, I like his voice. Only positive vibes from him, and I'm glad he made it. Okay, and then so nothing else. He's just perfect for the group, and he can really definitely take up the rapping parts, because Guanlin is still improving. So I think he will take those parts. And then 5th place is Ong Song Woo, and he is like the perfect package idol. Just extremely good looking, very good at dancing, good at singing, good at rapping. He's probably really good at acting because he's from Fantagio, and Fantagio does a fantastic job at training all of their idols. So again, no exception there. They were like, by only sending one, they knew like this is the one, so I think that's why they only sent him, because he's so perfect at everything. So, and I like him being in the group. He's a great addition, extremely good dancer, and he just fits in perfectly. From the very beginning when I saw him, I knew he was going to make it, and I'm glad that he did. So maybe this hints towards Fantagio putting him in a group, or maybe debuting him as solo. I don't know. But as of right now, he is a perfect addition to 101. Nothing negative about him. He's just perfect. And then 4th place, Kim Jae-hwan, which is like a miracle for me. Thank the Lord that a good vocalist was debuting in the final lineup, because this was my problem with last year. Because Yeonjung almost didn't make it. This one, like, he deserved it because he's just an extremely good singer. I saw all the teams that he was featured in, participated in, and he just elevated the songs. So having him in the group is just going to make the songs better, which is basically the only thing I want the most from this group. Is just good music, and just having him in the group just makes me excited to hear what they're going to release. Because when I heard the Never song, I was drawn to his voice. He's extremely charismatic. I'm just really, really glad that Korea caught on to put him in, because he almost didn't make it. He gained recognition as the show went on. So he's kind of like the Chungha of this group, because she was like known for her talent, and this guy is known for his talent, and he plays 4th like Chungha. So I have a soft spot for this guy, even though I didn't keep up with the show that much, and I don't even know him that well. Just looking at the fan cams, and from the little that I saw him on the shows, because I watched the until the 4th episode, he deserves it so much, and I'm glad that he made it. Definitely really, really deserved, and he's going to make the songs so good. I'm so excited, and I hope that they don't screw him over with like not giving him lines. And then third place, Yi De Hui. This one I was actually almost curious that if he was gonna make it or not, because his ranking kept falling down. He started very high because he was the center, which is just kind of funny how these things add up, because what was it? Yu Jung was the center and she placed third place, and this guy placed third place. And Chong Ha was like recognized for her talents, and then Jaehwan was recognized. It's just really strange. So either he made it. I liked him at first. Then he kind of rubbed me a bit off with like I don't think it's his fault. I think it's Mnet's just rubbed him off a bit of arrogant at times, but I think that was just mainly just the editing for Mnet, because he's still so young and he's so talented. And maybe he will take part in the composition or the writing or producing of the album. So I'm really excited for that. I really like the song that he produced for the introduction of the brand new music trainees. So he's nothing but a good addition. He's good at dancing, singing, rapping. He's like the whole package again. I don't mind him being in the group. I think he definitely deserves it. On merit, yes, he totally deserves it. And then second place, Park Ji-hoon. This is the one that was like basically confirmed to be in in the final lineup from the very beginning, because he just kept ranking so high. And just the wink saved his career. This one, I actually really like him. He's again, overall whole package. I think that I really wanted to hear him sing a bit more. He really showcased his dancing really well. You can tell, like, this kid can dance, and he has a variety. He's good at variety, so I like that he was at it. He's like not just good looking, because obviously that's how he got attention at first, but you know, he has talent to back it up. So I don't mind him again being in the group. He totally deserves it. And yeah, he's very charismatic. I like him being in the group. And then first place was Kang Daniel, or Kang Daniel. This one I actually was really, really hoping from the beginning, because so this is like a journey with me in Daniel. Because at first I was like, okay, he's a bit cocky, but again, it's just probably Mnet's editing. And then he later on, you can tell he was like a really sweet guy. Like, so that's just the contrasting. That's why I stopped watching the show, because that's what happened to me last time, where I started disliking certain people for like no reason, and it's just mainly editing. So I didn't want to continue. I just wanted to keep up with the rankings, and at least I wanted to watch the beginning of the show to be aware or know some of the trainees. And yeah, this guy just totally deserves being first place. Like, he's from a small company. He showcased his dancing, his singing, his rapping. He knows that what it takes to be a K-pop performer, because if you're only good at just one thing, like if you're just extremely talented at one thing and nothing else, then you're kind of screwed over. Like, unless you just want to be like a singer-songwriter type of person. But if you want to be a K-pop idol, you just need to be good at everything. Not extremely good at, you can be extremely good at something, but be good at everything in general. And this guy is that perfect example of being really good at everything. And he's just extremely well prepared to perform. Like, he's ready to debut. I'm glad that a person that was kind of unknown at first shot all the way to first place. And that just shows hard work, determination, takes you really, really far. And I'm really glad that he sets that example for everyone else who watches the show. So I'm glad that he won first place. I actually wanted him to debut after seeing how he took care of the magne of the show, and just how the overall vibe that he gave. Okay, so just final thoughts on the lineup. I like everyone that was added into this. This season, they didn't have that many big companies, and like they just, like for example, they just sent. Never mind, but there was not like a lot of really famous trainees or companies, but I like the fact that they've the final 11 were just from relatively unknown companies, because last year you got Pledis and you had JYP, etc. So I like that these guys get a chance to perform, hopefully gain a large following if they're going to continue doing something on later, which that's what I hope for. And yeah, I don't mind, with the exception of Guanlin, but he's gonna prove himself, I know, because he has improved so much. But I guess he would be the less deserving out of the 11. But I actually like him, so I'm not trying to hate on him. And then, okay, now talking about something. So I think one person that was definitely robbed was Samuel. Like that kid has been training since like he was like just, I think like 8 or like 7. So he has been going at this almost his whole life, and he can't catch a break because first of all, he was training to be in 17. Then like I think his mother or like they just decided like they don't want to be in it anymore. But probably they were hinting towards not debuting him. And 17 was like a weird project group from Pledis because like it took a long time for them to debut, and member just kept like leaving or coming in, so that was just a whole mess. So he couldn't debut with 17. He debuted with what was it? With another guy. I think his name is One. Well, he debuted as a duo under Brave Music, and like it totally flopped. The single or like the debut was really good. You can tell like he was just ready to perform, but that didn't catch on. Then the member of the group like left to go sign with YG, so that was a slap in the face. So then they tried to do a collaboration with the guy who sings the Watch Me Whip, Nene, yeah, that. I forgot his name. That didn't do anything. And he's just been training and doing nothing. And he's under one of the worst companies to be training at the moment because even though Brave Brother produces a lot of smash hits, Big Star never made it and Brave Girls never made it. And they're still struggling to, gain some popularity. So I don't know what's going on there because the songs are really, really good. So I feel really bad for him. I think that's why I say, like, for example, like I would put like Samuel and put on Guanlin's spot. So I guess they're going. Brave Music might try to do things again and debut him as a solo because I don't think they'll be debuting a boy group anytime soon. So I really, really feel bad for him because he's just extremely talented and just can't seem to catch a break. I honestly feel really bad for him. Like you can tell, like he was broken inside when I was watching the live stream of the finale, and I felt so bad for him. And his fan cam apparently had a bunch of views on Naver, which is like the Korea's most like popular search engine, and I don't know what happened. Like he was ranking high at first, and I don't know. I honestly don't know. I feel really bad for him. And then, basically, a lot of people are complaining about Jonghyun not making it, but here's like my take on it because he's actually my favorite member from New East, and I felt really bad for him because a lot of people that made it onto the final lineup, like they were all they all got help from him. because he was kind of like the leader every time he was put into the teams and all that. And he just does an extremely good job at making one be on the same page, perform really well. He's not mean. He's just a very, very good leader. Obviously, he has that experience with New East, so and he just has this really gentle aura about him. I really like him. I felt so bad for him not making it. I thought he was actually going to make it because he was ranking number 1 for a while. And but I think he felt just really happy at least one of the New East members made it. I just feel really bad for him. But I actually don't mind just having one of the New East members in 101 because, you know, you have to take into account New East it's a 5-year-old group. So they've been in the game for 5 years. A lot of these other trainees haven't gotten the opportunity to debut or may never seen the light of day of actually debuting in a group. And all of these guys had been going at it for 5 years. Even though they never got recognition, they got the opportunity to debut, travel around the world, perform, etc. So I actually wanted 1 or 2 members. So I don't mind that Minhyun just made it. I don't think he's going to leave them. I hope not. I think the fact that they didn't succeed that much made them a lot more closer with each other. So hopefully Minhyun doesn't just completely leave and start a solo career, but goes back to New East. Other than that, I'm guessing, hopefully, that New East will promote as a 4-member group, even though Minhyun is not in it. Beko can really carry the vocals, and then Ren could get more lines. And actually, Aaron is so versatile as well, so obviously I'm going to miss seeing Minhyun, but hopefully they do get to keep promoting because they gained a lot of popularity individually, so you got to do something with that. Their album sales increased a little bit, so please get on that right now. That's what I'm praying for, that hopefully they just promote as a 4-member group. And then once the 101 promotions are over, Minhyun can go back. So that's why I have this album here. And I think it's a perfect decision for them to just make it exclusive, that the members that are debuting in 101 are going to promote as 101 until the contract finishes. And because I feel bad for a lot of these other members of IOI where they had to promote so much. For example, Sejong was overly promoted. She promoted basically the whole year, and she hasn't gotten any break because she was with IOI. Then she was doing all these advertisement and shows. Then she debuted with Gugudan. Then she had a solo, and then she had another comeback with IOI. And this whole, like, you burn them out. And same thing for Chaeyoung. She was basically carrying Daya and save them from being broke. And she was everywhere. So I like that they're being exclusive to the group, and then later wait for them to officially debut in their individual groups or as a solo. And that's the perfect thing that Pledis and Fantagio are doing. Pristine debuted right after IOI finished, and they're doing so well right now. And Doyeon and Yoojung are preparing to debut. I think it's called iGirls or something like that. So, you know, take things at a time, because I feel so bad for Yeonjung, for Chaeyoung, and for Sejong and Mina. Like, they were constantly working, and, you know, Chungha, you know, got her solo debut right after IOI, so I think that's just the best way to do it, so these people don't get burnt out, because they're not only releasing music, they're obviously going to be in so many advertisements, having so many concerts, being in so many events. It's overwhelming, to be honest, because if you look back on everything that IOI did last year, it's just extremely impressive. And the way that this group was formed, I feel so bad that they have to disband, but honestly, if IOI continued as a group, I would have, legit have bought their albums. But I felt so I felt so bad just buying the albums and then they're not going to continue anymore. I really like it just clicked so well. So I think it's going to be the same with this group, because in my opinion, they're a little bit more well trained than the girls, because I think for male trainees go through, I guess, more of a tough training when it comes to performing, while the girls are a bit more pressured on their image, which kind of sucks. But just when I saw, every time I saw them perform, IOI perform, it was just perfect. And like, not to like hate on Twice, but when they performed on the Mamas, they stole the show. When it was like girl groups performing, IOI stole the show. And they were just extremely charismatic. So hopefully that 101 gets a lot of releases, and they don't get overburned with other things. Other than that, that's like my final thoughts on the show. You can comment down below on what you think. But other than that, I like how it finished, but it was extremely biased. I could have guessed half of these people making it into the final lineup because of how much screen time that they got throughout the show. It was just extremely biased. Mnet was choosing which members they wanted to be in the leading spots. So I felt bad for, like, for example, like Udam, which was a very good singer. I wanted him to be, but he never made it. But I'm glad that Jaehwan at least made it. So that's it. I was actually really excited that apparently, like, Boa's comeback teaser was there, which is perfect. I'm glad SM postponed the comeback. Then when everybody was watching, they could see Queen Boa coming back, returning. So I'm really glad that she's coming back. That's why I wanted to end things. I'm really excited for Boa. And I think she did an extremely good job on the show. Better than last year's host. I like him, but she was more, I guess, she put more input and actually help the trainees. Like, I forgot his name, Junsuk, which more on the comedic side. He was very sweet, but Boa actually gave good advice, analyzed everyone really well. So I think she was perfect for the show, and she is the queen of K-pop, so nobody else could have been better than her. So overall, final thoughts. I like the lineup. The show was okay. I don't like how the editing, but you can't do anything about that. And apparently they're doing a season 3 with girls, and I actually like it more with girls because, I don't know, it's a bit more dramatic. So yeah, I wish them all good luck. And again, if you have any other thoughts or you want to say anything, you can always comment down below. And who knows, I might buy their albums. I do collection videos and all that. If the album is extremely good, I might just go ahead and buy all of the releases. I don't know. So hopefully they do get